Episode 6 was last week, and now this week's episode 7. So,
Oh my gosh.
welcome to episode 7 of Against the Spread. This week is weird because there's not really good matchups. So, this is going to be our chaotic episode of
Suck foul.
of a smorgasbord of randomness that we have scheduled. But of course, every episode, you know what we start with. And our special guest, Derek, he's back again. Derek hasn't been here for a while. Derek,
I
every episode we start with the word of God,
Oh,
a,
you
a
guys
word
want me to
a
put
word of encouragement, or a verse
yeah.
of encouragement, or a prayer. Anything you want to say. You haven't been here in a while. I'm going to put it on you, and you always have some encouraging words for all of us. What do you got for everybody else?
I will certainly use my life verse basically on what's got me through every tumultuous storm. It is First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 16. That in itself, just that call to rejoice always. And then the next verse after that, 17, pray without ceasing. It's so it's so challenging because like it seems so simple, and yes, is it easy, like those two verses are easy to remember. Yes, they are. But when you actually kind of think about it, do you always want to rejoice?
No,
Do you always
as
want to
a as
pray?
a as a human, no.
No. The next verse says, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of Christ Jesus, or the will of God in Christ Jesus for you." No one wants to do that. Do you want to quench the spirit though? No, you don't. But not doing any of those allows the Holy Spirit to not like do the work that he should be able to do in you. Not in the sense that he's not powerful. He's all powerful. It's just you hinder it. You make it harder. You make it harder for the glory of God to be shown in you. It's harder for everyone to then see someone as being, holy like Christ, being I guess Christ centered and Holy Spirit led when you're acting like the world. When you decide instead of rejoicing, knowing, who you are in Christ, and you're instead choosing to lash out in anger. It's a lot harder to then, minister to someone when you saw them last week acting out in anger. But why is it important to always rejoice always? Because when you're in Christ, like it says, a firm foundation, I have peace that makes no sense, so I won't be going under.
Yep.
When you're rich in Christ, you can't help but rejoice because the things of this world fade. Everything here is temporary, which is why I won't care for anything other than bringing others to the table because that's the Great Commission. You know,
The Great
Jesus
Commission.
literally gave a parable about, going out to the hedges and the highways, bringing others to the family of God.
Go and make
But
disciples,
getting back to First
disciples
Thessalonians,
of all nations.
literally. But going back to First Thessalonians is just that call to rejoice, that call to praise and to pray. You just do it, and when you do actually rejoice, and when you do pray, everything becomes easy.
It's
Anyways, that's all my
easy
heart.
for you. Sorry.
Nah, you're good, man. But yeah, that's the verse I had on my heart.
It's a good one to have, and especially nowadays, where a lot of things can go wrong in this world, and a lot of things go wrong around
Yep.
us. We need to be the light. We need to be the people that everyone else looks at and questions. How are they so happy? Like all of this is going on around us, all this bad, all this wrong, and they're still happy. They're still smiling. They're still getting
Mhm.
through everything. What do they have that I don't? That's what That's what we need to do. Because if they start questioning
Yep.
what do they have that I don't, then that gives us an opportunity to go talk to them.
Exactly.
Jesus
My
loves
my
you.
goal my goal as
Mm.
a Christian really should be by the end of every conversation or by me just walking by or how I respond to something, you should go as a non-believer. What do they have that I don't have?
Hmm.
What makes them that joyful? What makes them that humble and avoid things that put themselves on a pedestal? That is what we should be doing and what we should exemplify, not things that are like, I want to be seen. I want to be the one known for being the funny guy, or I want to be the one that's, singing and leading all the time. It's like, no, you should be. like a child, like a servant, being humble, pushing others above you, not in the sense of, oh, everyone's better than me, knowing that you're not the greatest and you're not the worst either. You're at the end of the day, you're a daughter, you're a son of the Most High God, if you choose to accept that calling and to walk in that humbly and jovially, like having that joy.
That is how we'll start this. Now we can talk football. Football,
Football time.
God tells us to be happy and rejoice in everything, but sometimes football doesn't make you feel that way. And that is how,
About them
Football.
Auburn Tigers.
yeah,
How
exactly
about them
like
Auburn Tigers?
Holton, shut up.
Did you pick him from the call?
I love democracy.
uh, so the first thing we're talking about is
Why does
SEC's
he go back there?
SEC's permanent opponents. That's what we want to talk about. The SEC is implementing a new thing where they're going to do 9 opponents, 9 SEC games, and that's just what we need to do. Why hasn't he come back? Oh, right.
There he is.
I
There he
summoned
is.
him in.
Did you time him out?
No,
No, he kicked
I
him.
just disconnected him. Those that I didn't do anything else.
I meant
Bruh.
was how about them Georgia puppies?
All right, there you go. You can
Bring
talk.
them
You can
puppies.
talk about that one. I'm fine.
Bring
No,
them puppies.
So how about them Auburn Tigers?
I'm gonna kick you again. I'm gonna remove you again.
That was the perfect to say when you said that. I'm not gonna lie. That's the perfect thing.
Right.
Well, keep me on, bro.
SEC is implementing a 9 conference game schedule. Of course, every team's going to have 3 permanent opponents, which is rivalries, keep so that they can play them every year. The 3 permanent opponents are yearly. Every other year, they play every other team, so they rotate. So we can use. I'm going to use Auburn's schedule as an example, just because I have it. So Auburn's schedule, of course, 3 permanent opponents is Bama, Georgia, and Vanderbilt because they decided to say you're going to play Vanderbilt every year because you have to play Alabama and Georgia every year. So we're going to make you. And they're like, that used to be an easy game, not anymore. So
Rip.
for Auburn, it's a every other year you play every other opponent. So that would be Arkansas, Florida, LSU, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and Tennessee next year. And then, of course, so that means we will play them again, those opponents again in 2028, but flipped. The games that were at home will be on the road. The games that were on the road will be at home. But Bama, Georgia, and Vanderbilt are every single season. So in 27, we play the other teams that aren't being played, which will be Georgia, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas A&M, Kentucky, Missouri, and Texas. And then in 29, we'll play those teams again, but flip, road, whatever. A lot of people don't like the 3 permanent opponents for a lot of these teams. Alabama's being Auburn, Tennessee, which those two should have stayed. But then their third is Mississippi State. Arkansas is Missouri, Texas, and LSU. Florida's is Georgia, South Carolina, and Kentucky. Georgia has Auburn, Florida, South Carolina. And I'll just stop there for now so we can talk. So Bama is a little strange. They got rid of the LSU permanent rivalry. How do we feel, local Bama fans?
Oh, and you want to go
You
first?
go
You want to let
first.
me go first? Okay, word.
Uh, okay, because I got stats to prove it. I got stats to back it up. So
I was gonna say, honestly, I don't mind Mississippi State being a permanent opponent because of it being a rivalry historically. I grew up watching some crazy games between Alabama and Mississippi State, but it's been so lopsided that like I'd hardly call it a rivalry at this point. It's just you look at the quality you get, because you never know who's going to win between LSU and Bama. Like, most notably, there's like 2 years ago that LSU got like a 2-point conversion. I think it was like overtime or very end of the game or something or whatever, and ended up winning. And I crashed out, by the way. Like, there's been a lot of good Alabama LSU games. Like, there was a national championship out of it. There's the 2019 game that honestly was a lot closer than I was expecting because of how good LSU was that year.
I watched that one in Boston.
And then,
I was all the way up there. I remember watching that one.
oh yeah, and just like but the last few times like Alabama and Mississippi State played, it hasn't been much of a contest. I mean, I like it historically. It's nostalgic. It's cool. Like, that we get to see that again. But if it were up to me, Bama's three permanent opponents would have been LSU, Auburn, and Tennessee. Because, I mean, those are like three really big rivalries. You got to have third Saturday in October. You can't take that away. The Iron Bowl is a must. You can't take that away. But I think we could have gone without playing Mississippi State. But, I mean,
The
I
only
don't
issue,
hate it,
yeah,
but I don't love it either.
the only issue with
So,
that is Mississippi State doesn't really have a third rivalry game because they have Ole Miss and Bama, and then that's really it. And then their third game is Vandy because Vandy also doesn't have a third rival. So really, it was because Mississippi State didn't have a third opponent to play. Is why you got stuck with it. If you really want to
Um,
look
does
at
that
it
make
that way.
sense?
so
Now, on the other
basically,
hand,
as
LSU's permanent opponents are Arkansas, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M, and A&M is not an LSU rival. So there's the other issue.
Good games though. We all remember that overtime thriller. I think
Yes,
that was
but
a
that's
good
a
game.
that's a forced rivalry which should not be played on the final week. It should be LSU and Arkansas on the final week,
Oh
and then
yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
and then Oklahoma and Missouri should be the final week. But which we should get that now because it's not going to be LSU and OU every year now, so they might actually flip it back to having the battle for the Golden Boot being rivalry weekend and not a random middle of the year weekend. Holden, stats on Bama since you have them.
so according to Wikipedia, this is what tells you the rivalry. Alabama, it says all time. It says is 86-18-3. But under that, it says Alabama leads 88-17-3 on the field, but 2 wins were vacated or forfeited. Alabama's largest victory in the series is Alabama with 59-0 in 1922. We're going way too far back. Alabama's
I heard this was the first one.
the longest win streak in the series is by Alabama is 22, and Alabama is currently on a 16 win streak from 2008 to the current day.
Like I said, lopsided.
It is lopsided. Mississippi State hasn't beaten Alabama since Nick Saban's first year.
Yeah, but with how NIL is these days and with how DeBoer likes losing to teams that aren't that great, you never know anymore.
The last time it was close, it was 2017 when Alabama was on the number 2 facing a trap game against number 16 Mississippi State in the start of Mississippi. Alabama almost lost that game and played really bad that game. Then 2 weeks later, lost the Iron Bowl.
Sounds
So,
2017 is weird. That was just whack.
so I don't really feel like this is a rivalry game. Historically, yes. I think what's the name? The name of the rivalry is the Battle for Highway 82
Because that's 82 connects
because
Starkville and Tuscaloosa together.
these two teams in the SEC are the 2 closest colleges based on miles. They're really close to each other. So, again, I don't feel like this is a rivalry. Like Joshua said, there's been games between Alabama and LSU. The rivalry started basically when Nick Saban got there. A lot of LSU fans we're not happy that Nick Saban returned to college football, especially to a team in the SEC in Alabama, which it probably was a rivalry, but the rivalry grew during Nick Saban's tenure at Alabama.
Nicknamed the
Like
Saban. It's nicknamed the
2011.
Saban Bowl for a reason.
The rivalry name is actually the first. The rivalry was named at one point the first Saturday in November. However, that's probably not going to be since it's going to be played every other year. The name will probably be the same, but consecutive meetings won't be the same, even though they will play next year until the streak ends.
All right.
So that's all I got.
Other ones that are weird on my list. Let's look at this. Oklahoma and Ole Miss is a permanent game.
That they're trying to force that into a rivalry.
OU and Ole Miss is a permanent
Yeah.
game. I don't know what's up with that. Ole Miss doesn't really have a third rival. Oklahoma doesn't really have a third rival either. So I mean, it's fair. I guess that's why. I mean, that's the only reason. It would make sense
So
because
they have Missouri
OU is
and
Missouri and
Texas.
Texas, and that's like it.
Yeah,
They went because
that's
A
about
What
it.
because
they
A and M A&M's three permanents are LSU, Missouri, and Texas, which is really weird because I think one of A&M's permanents should have been Arkansas because A&M and
Yeah, that's
Arkansas,
a
A&M and
rivalry.
Arkansas play every year in Dallas. They play in Jerry's World, and
Not anymore.
Ew.
not anymore. But
Ew.
they used to. So like, I think A&M's should yes Missouri's there. The only reason Missouri's there is because they both joined in 2012 and they both came from the Big 12. But I don't think Missouri should have A&M. I think Missouri or A&M should have Arkansas, and then Arkansas and Missouri shouldn't be a thing either.
Yeah. According to
I do like
Wikipedia,
Texas and
for,
A&M
for
though.
Ole-
Missouri's opponents
according to Wikipedia,
being OU is definitely one of them, but the only issue is they don't really have a rivalry with anyone else other than like South Carolina.
the South Carolina was it South Carolina and Missouri? Are you
Yes,
saying?
South Carolina, Missouri.
That's because both of them have the same cities
Yeah, it's Columbia Bowl.
as to like where they're located. Yeah. So I think it's called the Mayor's Cup.
It is. Yeah,
But
Mayor's Cup. That's why.
going back to Ole Miss's rivalries according to Wikipedia is Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, LSU, Mississippi State,
Magnolia Bowl.
Tennessee, and Vanderbilt from the SEC. Ole Miss and Vanderbilt used to play as the permanent SEC cross divisional opponents when the SEC had divisions.
Ole Miss
I
is
say
they
So
had
I'm
the
gonna miss Bama and Ole Miss too.
Ole Miss had the Egg Bowl and the Magnolia Bowl, and they weren't going to get rid of either.
so
Uh,
they could have gave it to Vanderbilt, Ole Miss and Vanderbilt,
Some of these are just
but
weird because a lot of these teams don't really have a third opponent. A lot of
Yeah.
these teams have two.
I mean Oklahoma should have got Missouri, Texas, and Texas A&M. But then you got to work Texas A&M's out.
Yeah, and A&M's got to have. Well, I mean, A&M's got to have Arkansas, Texas, and Arkansas, and Texas.
Texas A&M and Texas
I
A&M and
think it's
Missouri are not our
dumb.
rivalries either.
I just think
Texas
it's
A&M,
dumb, honestly.
I mean, the
Like,
I
if
whole
you want
believe
my opinion,
Texas
I think
A
it's dumb.
I believe Texas A&M and Missouri have played like 20 something times, and it's really not a rivalry,
mm,
even when they were in the Big 12.
no. Derek, you had something.
I just think it's dumb. You can't really like force rivalries with like college games. Like with pro football, you can because like there's 4 teams in there, but like the SEC is like you have like how many teams that just joined or programs
16.
that just joined the SEC?
There's
Two,
16 teams.
Yeah,
two that just
yeah,
joined,
yeah,
but like
two
yeah, there's
more.
16.
Yeah, like it's so many people there, and like to then like go over through history, who played who did this, who that. It is next to impossible, and you can't really force a rivalry game. Just let
Yeah,
it happen naturally, like
a lot of these teams have
instead of like,
two rivals, two actual
yeah,
like
that's something I was about to say.
legit
Like
rivalry games.
with Alabama, it's like it at least as of recent history, I'd say it's just Georgia. If we're talking about recency bias, Georgia and like who else? Maybe LSU, maybe.
LSU and Ole
Like that's a
Miss.
strong maybe. But like that's like kind of pushing it. It's like you with every like at least in my opinion, what I would say people from early 2000s and up, the concept of like any SEC rivalry is just like every SEC team.
Basically, yes.
It's not just a specific person. It's not a specific team where it's like, oh, we have to beat so and so. It's like every game in the SEC is rivalry. We hate you because we hate you.
It's fair. Which
But
is
yeah,
not
that's all
wrong.
I have to say. I just think it's I just think it's dumb to try to like force that.
No, yeah.
And then it creates even more confusion.
Most teams
I was
have
about to say.
two rivals. Bama has the Iron Bowl
Hmm.
and third Saturday in October. Auburn has Iron
Yeah.
Bowl and Deep South's oldest rivalry. Arkansas has Battle for the Golden Boot with LSU, and then they have their game with Texas, which is a old Southwest rivalry. Florida has the world's biggest cocktail party, which is against Georgia, and then they have their rivalry against Kentucky. They also have one with Tennessee, but they decided to give them South Carolina.
Yeah,
Georgia,
Florida and South Carolina does. Florida and South
Georgia,
Carolina makes sense.
Georgia, they have their rivalry back with South Carolina. Then they have Deep South's oldest rivalry and world's largest outdoor cocktail party, which is Florida. Kentucky's got their rivalry with Tennessee, and they have a rivalry with Louisville. So literally, they only have two, and it's one in the SEC, and that's about it. LSU's got Magnolia Bowl with Ole Miss. They got Golden Boot with Arkansas. That's really their two biggest ones outside of Alabama. Mississippi State's got the Egg Bowl, and really that's it. They don't have a rivalry other than that. Missouri, Missouri's got their rivalry game with Oklahoma. Missouri and Oklahoma hate each other. They despise each other. That is a huge rivalry game. Missouri and Arkansas is only a rivalry because they joined in 2012 and they decided to make it one. Oklahoma's got Red River. Oklahoma's got the one with Missouri. That's it. Ole Miss has Egg Bowl, Magnolia Bowl. South Carolina's got the one with Georgia, and then
Mhm.
they have a rivalry with Texas A&M, and it's called the Garnet Bowl. But that's the only other one that like I can really think of that has a name.
That was another forced rivalry.
Not really,
It was. Connor's
but
I was
behind
about
you.
to say the only
is he behind me again?
Connor's
forced
behind you.
What are you doing?
rivalry that worked.
Omni man.
Connor again,
And
bro.
in
Connor
Tennessee,
was there. I didn't even see
yeah, he was
Connor.
behind me.
Oh
The
my
Toward me.
only
gosh.
the only forced rivalry that ended up working was Troy and South. Because like I don't know, South kind of came out of nowhere and they're like, "Here you go, Troy. Here's a new rival," and
Taylor,
we just
Taylor,
kind
hear me out.
of took it and ran with
Taylor, hear
Tennessee.
me out about that.
Hold on.
No, Taylor, hear me out about
I'm
it.
gonna finish these. Hang on, and then I'll let you. But Tennessee has four rivals. They have Kentucky, Bama, Vandy, Florida. They can only keep three, so they kept Bama, Kentucky, and Vandy because those are the three bigger ones. Texas has Lone Star Showdown and Red River. A&M's got Lone Star and their game against Arkansas, and then Vanderbilt has Tennessee. So like, how do you distribute teams whenever some of these teams have one big rival, some of them have two, some of them have four, some of them have three. It's just the SEC did the best they could, and they kept the two really important ones for every team. And then some of these teams have weird ones. Some of these teams have a third important one. It's just that's really the best they could do with what these games are. Because hey, at least we get South Carolina and Georgia every year. South Carolina likes to beat Georgia, and it's kind of funny.
George's buns.
And then, of course,
FSU
we
beat
get
Alabama.
No one asked. What do you freaking do?
Hey, we beat FSU. We beat FSU. You guys didn't.
Who is we?
He's from Virginia, dog. You know
Go
that.
Cavs. Go Cavs. Go Cavs.
But that's yeah. That's
Rest in peace, Squirrel White, by the way.
that's Anyway, that's it for SEC's permanent. What am I hearing you out about?
So, if I remember correctly, between South Carolina and Texas A&M, when Texas A&M joined the conference, I think the first time they ever met and the first time that, like history, they played South Carolina was 2014. So that was Texas A&M and South Carolina's cross divisional as permanent for when there was divisions. So I do feel like it was a forced rivalry,
It's fair,
just
but it
like
was
Missouri and Arkansas.
still a Garnet Bowl. But South Carolina Missouri is
It's
an
still, it's,
actual rivalry game because they have a trophy. South Carolina and Georgia is a rivalry game because
yeah,
they actually don't like each other. South Carolina
but
and Kentucky. That's they kept that one, so that one's still a rivalry. So I mean, it's just
interesting.
there's a lot of weird ones. There's a lot of important ones that they did keep. But the good news about this is the fact that every team gets to play every other team every other year. So we get to see teams that normally don't play each other or teams that haven't played each other in a really long time. We get to see old rivalries come back, like Auburn and Florida. We get to see Bama and Florida come back. We get hey, we get to see a lot of big. We get to see Tennessee and Ole Miss play each other. You know how much they hate Lane Kiffin, and so That's the good part about this is the fact every team gets to play every other team every other year. Auburn and LSU is going to come back. Alabama and LSU will still be a thing. It'll just be every other year. Bama and Ole Miss will play each other every other year. Ole Miss and Tennessee, Auburn and Florida, Bama and Florida. Like those Auburn and Florida is a huge rivalry game that hasn't been played in a very long time. They haven't played since 2019. And Auburn and Tennessee, same thing. That's a decent one. I mean, Bama and Georgia will play every other year too. So, I mean, that's the good news about this is we get these games every other year. That's all I got to say on that. And then the main focus of this. Welcome to week 6. Week 6 sucks. We have two ranked unranked games, and it's just Miami and Florida State, which is a huge rivalry, and then where College Game Day should have been, and then they decided to go to Tuscaloosa instead because whoop de doo, the SEC paid ESPN $2 billion, so we're going to go there instead of FSU.
Bama Glaze.
But this week there really isn't that many good games, which tends to be chaotic. So we might see some crazy happen. But the only two ranked on ranked games, well, Virginia and Louisville's a pretty good game, even though it's not ranked on ranked, so that'll be interesting. But
Hear me out on this one.
the only two, and in Texas Tech and Houston, that'll be decent too. Connor's here. Uh,
Oh boy.
Whoa.
we'll
Oh boy.
talk about the NFL in a little bit, but hey, you're muted, Doug. His headset's not working.
I might turn my camera on for this guy. Oh my god.
Get your mic to work, Doug.
Get your setup right, twin. Come
Get your
on.
Let me
setup
see how
right,
long you can
twin.
hold Jay's down for until someone does it back.
Uh,
All
Turn your
right.
camera off, twin. No, we can't hear you.
He ain't gonna work. All right. Anyway,
Connor locked me.
um,
You have to
Vanderbilt,
walk into Taylor's room.
Vanderbilt and Bama. Vanderbilt,
Ooh.
Diego Pavia is going to Bama. Diego Pavia is undefeated. They're 5-0. They're number 18 in the country. Bama's coming off a huge win against Georgia. Guess what happened the last time they had a huge win against Georgia? They lost to Vanderbilt. Let's see what happens after that. What do we have this year for Vandy and Georgia? I mean, Georgia? Georgia. Yeah, Georgia. After beating Georgia. Vandy and Bama. What do we got?
I
Go,
I guess I'm going
Diego,
mean,
first.
go.
No, it says you don't even have a mic connected. That's what's funny. It's turned off. What did you
I
do?
just hope we
He's
dog
dead.
walk them this year.
Just disconnect your headset, dog. Just talk through your computer.
Facts. What you doing?
Oh,
Anyway,
Last year, yeah, I'm going. So last year, Bama comes from behind. Well, not really comes from behind. Comes from behind for like a couple seconds and takes the lead against Georgia. I must say this again. Ever since Bama went up 28-0 last year against Georgia, I know we're talking about last year, but this is the point I'm about to make. Bama was completely different. Is Connor's mic not working?
no, that's why he's making faces. It's
Nah, it
funny.
probably won't ever work.
It's
I
kind of
Unplug
know,
it.
right? I've been watching.
Unplug.
Nah, put it back on, Sway.
Unplug the
Put it back
mic.
on, Sway.
Unplug the mic, dog. Talk through the pooter.
Look,
Talk through the pooter.
look.
Fuck.
All right. So as I said, Bama went up 28-0 against Georgia last year. They do win the game eventually because the final seconds were crazy. Bama goes into the game next week against Vanderbilt thinking they got this one in the bag. And under any circumstance, with Nick Saban as the head coach, Nick Saban would have told them, do not overlook the opponent. The same thing applies to this week. Even though Vanderbilt is 5-0 and ranked in the top 25, I can't believe I'm saying that because Vanderbilt used to be a complete joke in the SEC.
Yeah.
Y'all grew up watching SEC football. Well, most of us here, y'all know how bad Vanderbilt was. And when
Yep.
James Franklin was there, Vanderbilt was pretty decent because he got Vanderbilt uh, actually good for their standards because they're a really good school to go to for academics. With that being said, Alabama wins by 3 against Georgia, 24-21. This time it's in Tuscaloosa. Last year there was more Bama fans there than Vanderbilt fans in that stadium. Majority of the time when you play at Vanderbilt, the home team fans are going to be there. So Alabama does not need to overlook Vanderbilt. Diego Pavia is a good quarterback. He is a mobile quarterback, and Bama has trouble stopping mobile
Oh,
quarterbacks.
gosh.
So this probably will be a close game. Like last year. Last year it should not have been a close game. Considering how many Vanderbilt lost to Georgia State last year at one point.
Yes.
What
Then
time does that
beat
game
them pretty bad.
start?
2:30.
2:30. So
Okay, it'll be over by the time we go to the Troy game. Word.
We'll be
if
in
Bama
Troy.
if
We'll be on the way
if,
over there.
if Bama loses to Vanderbilt again for the second year in a row, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Crash out.
I don't know.
It'll be funny.
I probably will.
Dude, crash out graciously. Come on.
Yeah. I just stared at TV screen last year when they lost. Thinking, did this really just happen?
I'm gonna blow up the
Uh,
state of Tennessee.
uh,
Oh,
I see
green.
movement. I
Turn
see
your camera on.
movement. I see
Turn your
green.
camera on,
Oh,
Sway.
I see
Put
green.
that
Hear me?
camera on.
Yeah.
up there he is.
Put the
But
camera on.
Well,
Turn it on.
we're back.
All right.
Mr. President, it's an honor.
I'm here. I'm ready to discuss random
Josh is the
sports. I have no
president.
idea what I'm talking about. Where's my rubber duck?
Josh is the
All right,
president.
we got both of them.
All right.
Who needs those?
Fantastic.
We're talking about Vanderbilt and Alabama.
Magnificent.
Vanderbilt's winning. Alabama sucks.
That's
Okay, pal.
there's you heard it first here from Mr. Trump himself. That's
Exactly. They're winning. You know why? Because Vanderbilt's just automatically better.
he might need he needs a little bit. He might need some senile pills.
We don't have a glorified running back at quarterback
This
this
isn't
year.
baseball anymore.
You don't have Jalen Mill can't throw. He's on the Seattle Seahawks on the bench where he belongs.
I'm surprised he even got drafted.
He's
I'm not
behind
even
a
gonna hold you.
domestic terrorist.
No,
Man,
not
Sam
Sam
Darnold.
Darnold.
Anyway, my main concern going into this game when it comes to Alabama, the biggest question mark that Alabama still has is that offensive line. They're still rotating linemen in and out of the game. They haven't found a consistent lineup that's disciplined or can hold blocks down. That Ty Simpson should not be having to run as much as he is. And just like he's doing a fantastic job. When the O line is doing their thing, Ty Simpson can get the ball out in 3 seconds. But if that offensive line is just going to keep being bad, that's going to be an issue. With a 5-0 Vanderbilt,
Well,
that
good for you
is
because
probably
Vandy's defensive line is terrible. So Vandy's strength on defense is in their corners and their safeties. Ty Simpson's going to have to deal the ball into tight windows and figure out how to get it to his receivers. His receivers are going to have to get open. His receivers are going to have to shake the corners and shake the defensive backs because that is the only way that they're going to be able to do this. Now you can
don't pull Jalen
run.
Hurts and force it to your
Now
stomach.
you can run on Vanderbilt pretty well, and you have Jam Miller back, so it could be interesting. But Vandy, their linebacker core, their defensive line, not really there, but their corners and their defensive backs are strong. And their strongest thing is the fact they have Pavi on their offense. Because of his improvisation. There we go. Word. English. English is hard. Because of that from Pavia, their offense is unpredictable. They can call a play, it can break down, and then Pavia will be like, okay, well, it broke down. I'm going to create a new play on my own right now. And he will. And the receivers will follow him, and they'll get open for him. Your
I was
linebackers,
going to say that
your corners, your DBs, everything on your defense, they're going to have to be the most disciplined they have been the entire year. They get out of place at any moment, and Pavia's ability to improvise will tear you apart.
let's say there are other question marks that have been answered, like can Ty Simpson get the job done? Is the receiver core just going to be Ryan Williams, or are we actually going to have people step up? The
It's
biggest, like I
crazy that
said, the biggest
Williams
question mark is
Williams is
for that
wide
offensive
receiver
line.
three. It's crazy that the freaking Hollywood's been like wide receiver three. It's
It's wild.
he's a slot guy. He's supposed that's where he should play. He should be a dangerous matchup in the slot for anyone that has to
He's
cover him.
better in the slot for sure.
That's where he
Like
needs to stay.
I've seen him do more in
That's
the slot than he was when he was wide receiver one. Isaiah Horton is a speedster. If he gets out wide, it's over. Jeremy Bernard is an absolute dog. If he gets out wide, it's over. The main problem that Alabama has is a lack of discipline, and the offensive line doesn't know what the heck they want to do with themselves.
Now who you need to worry about is CJ Hurd. CJ Hurd's the safety for Vanderbilt. He has
um,
23 tackles already this year. He'll be a problem.
gee,
20,
yeah.
23
My
tackles
only
from the
question
safety
is for Ty
position.
Simpson. Only real
I
question for
think
Ty Simpson is he not gonna hold on to the ball too long? Like, is he just gonna like actually release it? Because that's really his bread and butter is like getting rid of the ball quickly. With them having, a really good secondary, it's gonna be so easy for you to just want to hold the ball on longer. I can just wait a little bit longer. He's gonna throw it. He's gonna have to throw it in anticipation, like with great anticipation. Otherwise, like it doesn't matter how bad your D line is. Eventually, they're gonna get through the cause pressure.
the key to this
Coverage.
game is exploiting that weak defensive line at all
Yeah.
costs.
Run.
Oh yeah. If
That's
I'm
it.
if
Run the
I'm
That's your
if
ball.
key.
I'm
Run
That's
the
your
any
ball
key.
like I used
if
to
I'm
do.
any offensive coordinator, it's not even just run. Like if you let's just say they're gonna try and stop you from running the ball.
Play action.
Okay, bet.
Bam.
Quick.
Run a 5 yard slant, 3 step slant, 3 step drag, zig, get you spread out horizontally.
Give me a screen, something.
Yep.
You're
Exploit that
you're
weak front
Thing that
line.
needs to be outside the numbers, so then I can then crash inside the middle.
you're they're gonna you're I mean this the battle of this game is Bama's receivers and ability to run routes and get open versus Vanderbilt's secondary
Yeah.
inability to cover space. That's where that's where the battle is going to be in this game. Which, I mean, it's not. I wish game day went to this other game because this game's better. But so Miami at Florida State. Miami's undefeated, number 3 in the country. Florida State just coming off a loss. They get to go back home after coming off a loss in double overtime on the road. You see huge rivalry game. Carson Beck's at quarterback for Miami this year. Miami has an actual defense. Miami has a 17-year-old wide receiver. FSU looks
Carson
like
Beck
one.
is him.
FSU looks like one of the
Deja vu.
best revamped teams in the country with Castellanos at quarterback, Sawchuk at running back, revamped wide receiver core, new offensive coordinator, Gus Malzahn, new defensive coordinator. Their defense looks way better. And their current leading tackler is a corner transfer from guess where? Alabama. Eric Little Jr., 28 tackles. And then Ruben Bain, defensive line for Miami, has 22 tackles and has himself in place to be a potential Heisman front runner from the defensive side because Ruben Bain Jr. has been going insane for Miami. This is a night game in Tallahassee, Florida. Miami's first big road test of the year, coming off a bye. Florida State's coming off actually, it's Miami's only road game. This is Miami's first road game of the year. Coming off a bye week, Florida State's coming off a double overtime loss. Make this one quick. What is your thoughts on this game?
The main
I
thing
like
is just
Tommy.
gonna.
Give me Tommy. I mean, I'll finish off. I'm gonna just be honest, and even if it still is Miami, even though they're playing great, I just like Tommy. I like the story of being an underdog, even though I think it's a dumb idea to think you're an underdog in general. Um, he's just a really good player. I really like him, and Gus is he's a good coach. So, yeah,
But see, the thing that it really boils down to, and Virginia showed this. If you can shut down Tommy Castellanos, you can shut down Florida State. If Tommy can't do Tommy things, Florida State ain't gonna do Florida State things.
It was
You
literally
gotta.
like 40-30. It wasn't even the
I
offense.
mean,
It wasn't the offense's fault.
yeah.
I've seen like a clip of
Castellanos
him getting
Our
like
defense
Castellanos did
sucks,
this.
bro.
blasted.
He did this at Boston
Our
College.
deep,
He would beat teams he
yeah.
wasn't supposed to, and he would lose to teams he wasn't supposed to. It was that's just what
Yeah.
he did all the time. This is a game that they're not supposed to win. We're probably going to see Heisman caliber Castellanos coming off of a loss, and then the next week,
Hmm.
whoever they play, that they'll get hyped up again, and then they'll just lose to Pitt because that's who they play next week. I mean,
Sounds about right.
no,
And the defense. Don't even
I
start on the defense.
it's so defense. The defense last week, the score was 46-38 in double overtime. You cannot give up 46 points. They still scored 38 points, which is the third most of the year, more than they scored on Bama.
Mm.
And it's not. It wasn't the offense's fault. Their offense is completely fine. It's their defense looked very bad, and they're going to have to be much more disciplined in this game against Miami. So Miami's offense looks really, really good with
They did a really
Carson
good
Beck, your
job.
quarterback.
They did a really good job, like running stunts when they were facing Bama. So I'd be real curious to see if they go back to that.
I was about to say that's like
You
I think
know,
the point still stands though. If you shut down Tommy, you shut down Florida State. Like, you
it's
know, for
just.
real.
I just think it's
But
funny. Malzahn was the coach that beat Bama the most during Nick Saban's tenure. He knew exactly what to do against Bama, and he did it again. He beat Bama by 14 with Florida State. I don't think many people are pointing that out. I was a coaching masterclass from Malzahn because he knew what to do because he's beat Bama 6 times now.
That's
And he knows what to do with a running quarterback. He knows how to exploit that
every
Bama defense. And I mean, the difference is Miami's defense. Miami's defense is better than Bama's by a long shot. Miami's defense is one of the best in the country this year. The only issue is it was one of the best in the country last year too, and then they fell apart, fell off a cliff in the last 4 weeks of the year.
Miami moment.
Can Miami stay consistent? Can they win a big game? Will they win this weekend? We will find out. It's at 6:30 on ABC. Now the moment that we brought Derek in for, and for Connor because he can talk NFL ball. What happened? What happened last? What happened last week? A bunch of crazy happened last week. Let's start.
Derrick Henry's been fumbling like crazy.
Let's start with the Giants.
Oh boy, why is
Dallas tied. Why did they tie?
Because they're buns.
Let's just mention.
Connor. I think we let Connor speak.
Let's mention something first. The Giants got their first win of the year against the undefeated Chargers. Congratulations to the New York Giants. Especially with Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo.
Your Lord and Savior, Jesus.
Scatterboo.
The rookie backfield.
The rookie back, and I've been saying for the longest in a Giants group chat that he should be RB1, but the fact that he got the reps, I'm happy. Honestly, to really even like let that sink in, every game that we've played has been close up until the second half because our red zone offense stinks, man. We can get down the field, we can't score.
There's no sink on my front door.
Time finishing. We have a hard time finishing. If you yeah. Yeah, we can't execute, bro. We can't execute. Literally, like we can go all the way down, get in the red zone, won't
The
score.
he's and ha-has.
Yeah, ha ha. You see with every game up until the Chargers, like even during the Chargers game, we struggled to score. The one thing though that obviously is the glaring thing is we don't have another weapon outside of Malik Neighbors. You look at guys like
bye.
Darius Slayton step up, and at best he's a wide receiver 3. He can't play wide receiver 1 role. He doesn't have good hands. He's a speedster. He'll burn you, but that's about it. You look at 3rd and 7. Mr. Wandale Robinson always open when it's short at the sticks, but he's at best a number 2, and that's that's on the Giants roster. Otherwise, he's not starting. Yep. So it's like, who do we have? Honestly, the fact that we won that game is amazing. It just goes to show you, we drafted well. And we have a good team. We have a competitive team. Our front 7 is nice. We have probably the best pass rush in the league. Brian Burns is leading the league in sacks. Makes me happy.
You have Abdul Carter. You got Abdul Carter too. Abdul Carter's gonna be.
We do have Abdul Carter. He almost had 2 sacks.
Carolina. 42-13 loss for the Panthers. What is wrong with Carolina? Everything with them. None of their rebuilds are working. None of the rebuilds are working. The Panthers suck. Let's talk about another game. Eagles and Bucks. The Eagles
was not average.
Another game. Eagles and Bucks. The Eagles ran a fake tush push.
Yep.
That was gas.
Saquon Barkley walked. He turned around, looked at the defense, and decided to stop sprinting and took a leisurely stroll into the end zone because
I had them on my fantasy team.
The entire defensive line and everyone on defense for the Bucks jumped on top of the dog pile, and the ball wasn't even there. If the Eagles keep doing that, they're probably gonna end up banning the tush push because you just can't have that.
No, it's banned the tush push. We can't
I'm
stop
0-4. 0-4 in fantasy football, and I have the second highest most points scored.
Other crazy games.
Undefeated in the sleeper.
Other crazy games.
No, I'm 3-1.
Let me look at this.
3-1. I play you this week.
The Raiders.
Josh Allen.
None of us care about if you're 1-0 or 3-0.
Josh Allen.
No one cares.
That's another crazy game. The Raiders.
Josh Allen can't win the big ones.
If there's anything to say about the Eagles, though, they have the weapons on offense. Their defense looks shaky.
Fair enough.
Especially in their secondary. Yes, you have Quinion Mitchell.
Bro bought a Travis Hunter jersey. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Too early for that, but I get why he wants to buy into the hype.
Hey, though, that's the retro jersey. I think it's gas. I'm not even gonna lie.
I bought it when I went to the game, so.
But their defense looks shaky in the secondary, which is a theme really I'd say in a lot of the teams in the NFLs right now. Dominant pass rusher, shaky secondary. If at best they have a good safety or one good corner, but they don't have a good cornerback number two.
All right. Another crazy game is the Bears and the Raiders. Bears won by 1 point after they scored a touchdown with 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the game. But the main thing about this game is Ashton Gentry finally broke out. Gentry had 138 rushing yards and a touchdown, along with 2 receiving touchdowns. He had 3 total touchdowns and
Right.
140 total
The stance
yards.
came back. They let him run
They
north
let
to
him do
south.
the Michael Myers stance. He just stands there and stares at you menacingly.
He's just sitting there menacingly.
Other news: Lamar Jackson's hurt. He's out for at least 3 to 4 weeks. Tyreek
My
Hill.
QB1 is cooked. No.
Oh, Tyreek Hill's career is done.
Tyreek
He's not
Hill's
playing.
entire lower leg decided to go vertical.
Tyreek Hill, when he realizes he doesn't play for 2 anymore. Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest. Like it looks like that. He wasn't saying yes to being hurt. He was like accepting the applause. Like you could see him.
His
Yeah, no, but it's
entire.
just a bunch of memes saying
If
he
this
doesn't play
was
for 2 anymore.
if this is his lower leg ended up like this.
He pulled a
Yeah.
Nick Chubb.
Every
Yeah,
single
pretty much.
every single tendon in his knee tore and it dislocated his entire knee. It looked
Yeah, he's
disgusting.
same.
It was so
I need that
gross.
photo.
Go
Listen,
Think
did you
about
see that
injuries.
Arkansas receiver that like
yes, that one
snapped his
too.
leg?
I have
Think about injuries.
Nick Chubb's leg photo in my photos.
But the
Think about
craziest,
another injury.
the craziest,
Most
the craziest game of the weekend. Micah Parsons came back to Dallas, and they decided to tie because the NFL's overtime rules are stupid.
I literally prayed for
Real.
moments like this. I said I hate both franchises. I hate the Packers because they beat us in the playoffs in like 2017. I hate the Cowboys. Hold on, excuse me. I called them the wrong name, the Cowgirls. Wow. I hate the Cowgirls just because they're the Cowgirls. I will always hate. I will give my liver to keep Jerry Jones alive.
They're the top one
That's
cheerleading squad in the
diabolical.
NFL, though.
Now here, this is what's crazy.
I will do
This is
what
what's
it
crazy.
takes.
Dallas has the number one offense in the entire NFL.
Yep.
Number one in yards. Number one in yards.
MVP
Number one in points.
They have the number one cheer
Number
squad
one-
too.
Number one in offense. Freaking Connor.
Leg go the wrong way.
Why are you showing that? That's gnarly.
That was Chubb last year. But no, Dallas is the number one offense in
That was
yards,
23.
yards and points and everything. They have the
And number one cheer squad.
They have the number 32 defense. That's dead last.
Yep.
Our defense sucks.
Bunch.
Yeah. Praise God for that. I pray for moments like this.
But that's
The Giants game and Cowboys was really good.
We play the Jets this week.
Yeah.
We might get a win. We play the Jets this week.
I hope not. I hope Quinnen Williams just decides to
If
go.
the Falcons can beat the Jets, y'all can beat the Jets.
Yeah, we're
And
gonna
the
be
Dolphins can beat the
Dolphins
Jets.
beat the
Dolphins
Jets.
Sorry.
I hope
The
we beat the
Falcons-
Are you
Jets.
sure you watch pro?
I forgot.
You know,
Who-
you
And then
confuse
we
yourself
have-
with the Falcons and the Eagles all the time.
And then we have the trash.
No, I just got the games last week mixed up.
And then we have the trash
Because
can.
there's
The trash
Sure.
can bowl. The trash can bowl. The Giants at the Saints.
If the Giants
We're gonna
don't
beat
win
the
that
Saints.
game, that's sad.
Holton,
No, we're gonna beat the Saints.
Holton,
but
what
it's
is your
still gonna be
thoughts?
close.
What is your thoughts on New Orleans?
The
I hate the
Aints.
Saints.
The Aints.
Yeah, they ain't winning games.
This is
I'd
They are
be
going-
surprised.
this is
I'd be
the
surprised
going-
if they put over like 20 points. I'd be really surprised on that. Yes, actually, is Chris Olave healthy this year?
I
Yeah,
don't
he gets
know.
defense,
I don't
but
care.
honestly-
I haven't watched one single game because of how bad they are.
Hey Holton, you think they're going to be the first team to go 0-17?
Oh, 100%, and I'm gonna be proud of that accomplishment.
we
Drew
hold a
Brees, come
record.
back, please.
We hold a record.
Yeah, we beat
Don't
the
worry,
Browns
I have
and
a
Lions
brown
at
bag
something
with
for
my
once.
name on it.
Not the 0-16 Browns.
We
Don't
beat the
worry.
Browns at
Don't
That
worry.
was
Selma.
hilarious. They're the
Final.
first
Don't
0
worry.
16 team since like the 2006 Detroit Lions, I think it was.
Holden. I got a brown bag with your name on it. Don't worry. I'll cut some hole or some eyes in it so you can wear it.
I want it right now, but I need a special one for Owen.
And the Saints
I need a
things
special
along
one.
with them.
Okay.
The only real redeeming factor that you could say about the Saints is just because you guys have a potential Hall of Famer in Cam Jordan. That's it.
Y'all
I
gotta get a
like
new.
Alvin
You gotta
Kamara.
get a new
I like
quarter. You
Alvin
gotta
Kamara.
get a new quarterback,
Yeah,
dog.
but he's not gonna
You
get
gotta
busy.
get some receivers too.
He's not gonna get busy the way you guys think he is. Like, yes, he's a great running back. I won't deny that. But bro, getting past our front seven, we're elite, bro. Like Fabio Carrique's leading the nation, or not, I said nation. Wow, leading the league.
I,
Man, can I get my things right? He's leading the league in tackles. You're not getting past him, and I think we get Micah this week. If not, we get Micah the next. But like, we have a
I'm
good
giving
front seven. We're getting to the QB, and we're
I'm
stopping the
giving
run.
I'm giving the head coach of the New Orleans Saints a pass. It's his first season. They were in a dumpster. He when he was hired, they were already in a dumpster fire.
You need a new
Says
quarterback.
Drew.
You need quarterback. You need a quarterback. You need
You also have a
receive. You
diva
need
at
wide receiver. You
quarterback.
need wide receivers. Uh,
We'll see where you
And,
guys went wrong.
and a running
Was
back.
like where you guys
Spencer
went wrong was like
Rattler.
way back when Breeze was still playing, was paying all these vets like as
Yeah.
they're aging out. And that's where you guys went
Yeah.
wrong. I remember like watching like 2019 and 2018 and like going on like it's like why are we? I said why are you guys re-signing a guy like what's his name, Andreas Pete, I think it was his name,
Yeah.
and then he retired the next year later. I'm like, the Saints don't know what they're doing. So like once they lost Drew Brees, it was like, where do we go?
Is
Oh no.
Ricky Loomis is a horrible general manager.
Agreed.
He's probably up there with Jerry Jones as one of the worst general managers.
I bet
Jerry's
Holton's
Keep
favorite
Jerry
game was
Jones
Jerry's.
alive.
Arthur Smith
Jerry's
is
Have
an
an
number
honorable
alive.
one.
mention.
Jerry's number one. Jerry sucks. Jerry is on a list of his own.
Hey,
What's
Holton.
Number
my
I
two,
will,
favorite?
Arthur
What's my
Smith.
favorite?
I'm
What's
an
my favorite game,
organ
Connor?
donator. Jerry,
Your
what is your
favorite
blood
game is
type? I'll give you my blood.
the Minneapolis Miracle.
Thanks!
That's trauma for him.
Sideline!
That's trauma. That's wrong for him. All I
So
know
what?
is though we're beating the Saints. Like that's for sure. That's a
Oh,
give me game.
hey, Connor. What
But
about
like
the
there's
what about
yeah.
the what about the pass interference in the NFC Championship?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
At
let's talk about
least, hey,
28-3. We got a Falcons fan up
at
there.
least you can make an NFC Championship game. So at least you have that home.
What's Dallas do? Nothing.
Lose.
Hey,
It
You
will
guys go
never be
8-8.
good.
You
actual
guys stay
season
like
Dak
right
Prescott is like
above 500.
amazing.
Will
You guys
never
stay
be
right
good.
at 500. Honestly, what's a really good conversation to talk about is Dak Prescott's playing at an MVP level.
Oh yeah.
There's
No,
you know what the
no,
one
no
problem
way.
Again.
No.
is though. You know what the problem
Again.
is, Derek?
He's always the
The
same.
problem is every
This
time
team sucks.
Dak plays MVP level, he gets injured and is out for the season.
I mean, Blake Martinez broke his leg into like a million pieces that one year. Which Blake Martinez is a really good linebacker. But dude, Dak, I remember the Eagles Cowgirls game. It didn't show it, but like Dak played
Go
really good
Bird.
that game.
No, they did.
You're
No,
not
it
an
was
Eagles fan. You're literally a Falcons fan.
I didn't ask.
Get
Don't
your team
care.
right.
Dirty
Get your team
Bird.
Don't
right. You're not
care.
even from
Didn't
Philly.
ask.
Dirty
You're not even
Bird.
from Philly.
Don't
You're not
care.
even from
Dak,
Didn't
Philly.
ask.
You're
Don't
not even
care.
from
Didn't
rookie Dak
Philly.
ask.
and rookie
You're
Zeke.
Don't care.
from
Didn't
Philly.
ask.
You're
Don't
not
care.
from
Didn't
Philly. Like,
ask.
what
All
are you
right,
doing?
zip it.
L plus
Zip
Nah,
two.
it.
no, no, no,
Zip
no,
L
no,
it.
plus
no,
Zip
no,
didn't
no.
it.
ask.
Zip it before I mute
Because
you.
the Falcons had Michael Vick, they had Prime Time, they had Devontae Freeman, they had Vic Beasley, Desmond Trufant, they had Matt Ryan, they had
Julio
Roddy White,
Jones.
Tony Gonzalez,
Guys,
Julio Jones. Who
I
else?
think
Do I
we're
need to
missing the
keep
real point
going?
here. We're missing the real point
And
here.
still didn't win
Sam Darnold
a
is a
Super
terrorist.
Bowl.
There you go.
Hey, Sam Darnold is a domestic terrorist. He is
Anyway,
a domestic terrorist.
All
is it
right.
time yet?
Yeah, we're gonna do it now.
I almost, I
It's
almost crashed out.
okay.
Oh baby.
It's
Oh
time to
baby.
close the episode out. and we get our clip of the week at the exact same time. Last week,
Ladies and gentlemen.
last week, we were talking about the OSU and Ole Miss game. We brought up a point that both schools had really pretty sorority girls, and we brought up a point
Oh my
that
gosh.
Bradley, we were talking about Lane Kiffin's daughter, and how it all turned
Oh
into a
my
thing.
gosh.
Bradley made a bet for Joshua that he would not list the top sorority girls in the SEC. Josh said, "Watch me." And now he has a top list of the sorority girls in the
Technically,
What?
11
SEC.
was an honorable mention, but yeah, I did my research on this.
Okay,
They're all redheads.
he actually did research, and he has the list, and this is how we're closing the episode. So,
You
Josh,
want
All
me to
right.
start from the bottom
we're
and go to number
going
one, or
from the
start number one?
bottom up.
All
They're
right,
all redheads.
Here
I'm
we
gonna go
go.
ahead and come in with an honorable mention. Mississippi State, not too shabby. Got some pretty ladies up there. Not gonna lie.
What are we
Coming in at
doing?
number 10, we got Vanderbilt. Not too shabby, you know. They're all look the same. Like, you know, kind of basic, but it's okay. Still pretty. Nothing wrong with that. Kind of chill. You know what I'm saying? Coming in at number 9 is Alabama. They all seem the same, like preppy girls.
All girls
I
are the
mean,
same color.
Juice,
type crap. Yes,
juice,
sir.
juice, juice, world mention?
Choose for a moment. Coming
Nah.
in at,
I just
coming
thought
in
about
at
that.
number
Nah.
8.
All right, 8.
Coming in at number 8, we got Auburn. I've seen,
Yeah.
I've been on Auburn's
Nah.
campus, seen some of their sorority girls. Know one of their sorority girls. Top
Nah.
tier.
Auburn gotta be ranked higher. Anyways, keep going.
Coming in at number 7, Missouri. Not too bad. A lot of
Who?
blondes, a lot of redheads.
There's yeah.
Peak
Redheads.
cinema.
This is personal preference. This is why the
Redheads,
list is.
man.
Here we go.
Coming in at
Redheads.
number
It's a
6,
half
we
breed right
got
there on camera.
coming in at number 6, we got Georgia. Some solid,
Who's six? Who's
solid
six?
Georgia.
Real. Rep my
Joe,
home
Pretty
state.
solid one.
Georgia.
Coming in at number 5, Tennessee. Zoo mama. Let me tell you something, brother.
Hold on, aren't you a Bama fan?
This is
This
this
is
is
I
what this is.
this
am.
is not
This,
about
This
football
is
here.
this is not about football.
no. This is rigged
This is
because if
about
you're from
finding my
Alabama, you
future
hate
wife.
everything Tennessee. You hate everything Tennessee if you're from Bama.
Except
Rigged
the women.
already. I don't like this list. I ain't even from Alabama.
Don't
This is
care, didn't
rigged.
You
ask.
here now?
Unfortunately. I mean,
No, you're right. You can say
That's
that.
crazy.
it's
What was I
hot
gonna
down there.
say? Hold on. I had
Fuck.
something clever to say here.
We're on number 4. No,
Blonde
we're on 5.
girl cinema at Tennessee. Let me tell you what.
I'm
Coming in
passing
at
out.
number 4, we got Florida. Florida's
Florida.
got Florida's got some some of them gingers down there, you know what I'm saying? And like Zang. Coming in at number 3, this one will shock you.
Oh
We got
no,
Texas.
that's not that shocking.
Some, something about them Texas girls, man.
I can't.
Let me tell you something.
We asked the
So,
wrong guy. Let me tell you something. We asked the wrong guy.
no one asked for your opinion. Number 2, South Carolina. Yup.
Taylor, I saw that face, Taylor.
What did
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
What was
This
his
list
face?
ain't
Was
hot.
it South
This list is
Carolina?
not hot.
No.
This is my
No,
personal
I
research.
really hope that number one's who I think it is, or else I'm going to invalidate this entire list.
No, trust. I think you know who it is. Coming in as numero uno to nobody's surprise. Ole Miss, baby.
Okay.
Woo! Run it up. Because
I'm gonna
the
crash out.
diversity is crazy. You got blonde, you got red, you got brunettes, you got
I don't know.
Geek cinema.
Why did I make
I'm gonna
this?
crack
Why did
up.
I make this a segment? What did I do?
You did this, not me. You told me I would it. And this has been week one of ranking sorority girls. Can I
No,
get a
not
girl?
week one. No,
Week
no,
one?
no.
Oh, please let this be the only week. I want this on bye week permanently.
Hey Joshua, you
Nope.
should do ACC next.
I got you. I got you down next week. ACC top 10. Here we go.
Hey
Yeah.
Joshua,
I'm gonna get my list going. I'm gonna get my list going
Joshua.
then.
Stanford and California do not count.
Valid.
You.
I got you. I'll
Okay,
do my research. I'll come back.
I told you this week was going to be crazy, and and that's been episode 7. We will come back next week.
Connor's having a tism tantrum.
We're gonna come back with episode 8. Next week we'll be back with episode 8. Episode 8 will have much better matchups. We got Red River next week. We got Oregon and Indiana next week. And, this week's just a little off. It's just the entire week's so bad. I looked at
I
the
got one
whole
more thing
week
to
and
say.
I hate everything about it. But here we come back next week with episode 8 for week 7. Week 7 featuring Red River Rivalry, featuring
I
Ohio,
got one more thing to
the
say.
Illabuck, Bama, Missouri, the Indiana and Oregon. I mean, there's a lot of good games next week, and that's all I've got for episode 7. And then Josh has one thing to close us out. Why do the Cincinnati Reds suck? Never. All right, keep going.
Yo, he's gonna do
South
the Go
Alabama
Trojans. Yeah.
sucks.
I'll be
Go
enjoying
Trojans.
this
Wait,
weekend.
wait,
We
wait, wait.
got
Hold on. Remember,
live
this guy picked
football.
the school rival. Don't forget, he picked the school rival. He picked the school rival.
Because
The
I
school that
hate
he,
both of them. I
the
wanted
school
them
that he
both to.
attended. He picked that
I
school's
didn't
rival. He picked
ask.
the rival.
I
No,
didn't
don't, don't,
ask.
no, 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 no,
I
no,
picked
no, don't
all
let that
bunch
fly.
of other
He picked
things.
the
Your point
rival, bro.
is
You picked the school
invalid.
rival. You picked the
Okay.
school rival.